unprecedented what the Reds have done in Australian sport.
It is going to be a red and black invasion of Adelaide. Jitte on the follow-up, clinical finishing.
Now Santalab! Oh, what a moment! He does take it on Isaias! Oh, what a start for the Reds!
Tries to curl it, what a goal!
Breaks for Jitte! A striker at the peak of his powers!
And Vinicius, 5-4! Utter madness!
You wouldn't want to be anywhere else on the planet at the moment.
All roads lead to Adelaide Oval.
Wherever you're watching around the world, the warmest of welcomes to South Australia. This is Adelaide Oval, and this is the 11th Hyundai A-League Grand Final. And whatever happens today, we'll have a new name on the trophy. Adelaide United and Western Sydney Wanderers have lost 4 Grand Finals between them. By the end of today, one team's heartache will be over, one hard luck story will go on. But for whom will it be third time lucky? So, around the globe to a potential audience of 70 million in 84 countries, this is what it's all about in Australia. Adelaide United versus Western Sydney Wanderers. This is Grand Final day, fireworks guaranteed. No team from South Australia has won a title since Zoran Matic's Adelaide City back in 1994. They'll feel it's been too long a wait. Here's the team news, not much of it. Adelaide United unchanged from the team that defeated Melbourne City. Only Galekovic, Jitte and LaRocca have grand final experience. Only Galekovic has a winner's medal. That's after sitting on the Melbourne victory bench in 2007. Bruce Jitte is fit after being nursed through this week due to a troublesome groin injury. He has 11 goals in his last 12 matches. The Wanderers unchanged as well. Only Topor Stanley, Bridge and Santalab survive from their last Grand Final appearance 2 years ago. Santalab scored at Adelaide Oval 9 years ago for Sydney FC, the only time the Reds have lost a game here. Mitch Nichols turns 27 today. He's looking for his 3rd winner's medal. Tarek Elrich might have been in Guillaume Moore's mind to start today, but he's on the bench along with the Reds super sub Pablo Sanchez. Dario Vinicius played that role to perfection last week for the Wanderers. So off we go, a packed house at Adelaide Oval, and a fixture that has produced 3 draws and just 2 goals this season. So there is little to go on in that regard in terms of trying to find a winner. But who will win today, and perhaps more importantly, why, Andy Harper?
Well, Simon, a very, very good afternoon. Let's worry about that a little bit later, see how things unfold. But there is no question that God has smiled on the city of churches. What a sparkling autumnal day. This famous sporting amphitheatre is glittering, and the 2 best teams in the competition set to go hammer and tong for 90 minutes, at least. Great team, in every sense of the word, Simon. And it's been a really positive start by the home team.
Scott Jamieson to clear up field. It's given away, though, rather loosely by Brendan Santalab. This is Morone. Jitte couldn't keep hold of it. Thumped up towards halfway by Topor Stanley, and now with Mitch Nichols. And the Wanderers with their first sight of Adelaide territory, and it's opened up for them brilliantly on the right. A slip by Santalab. It's worked out okay, though, for Western Sydney. Nichols pass behind Castlin. He's going to blast it. And into those Adelaide fans behind Galekovic's goal.
A nervous opening attack from the Wanderers.
Now Topor Stanley having to be mindful of the arrival of Bruce Kamau, and he's taking no chances.
It's a nervous start. As a bit of a dust-up behind play as well. Dimas and Stefan Mork. Great pressure from Brucey Kamau. We saw in the Fox Sports lab in the pre-game show just the speed that Kamau can hit. We thought Castellan was fast. We know Castellan's fast. Well, Bruce Kamau has the potential to be even faster than the Flying Dutchman.
Home fans lifting the volume as we have the first corner of this 11th Hyundai A-League Grand Final. About to be delivered by the Argentine, Marcelo Carrusca. La Rocca at the near post, Jite 2, and it's punched away by Andrew Redmayne. Goodwin trying to keep the ball alive, and that'll be a goal kick. But you're right, it's been a bit of a nervy start by Tony Popovic's team.
The whole Adelaide experience, of course, foreign. There's Dimas standing up to Stefan Mork. Little in it apart from early season, early grand final. How's your father's?
One for Jite to chase. If he can get it behind Alberto, and he was close to it, Alberto won the ball.
Well, I say, Simon, this is now the second time Andrew Redmayne has received an earful from his central defender. First was the skipper, Nikolai Topor-Stanley, and Alberto gave him a spray and a half. He was put under enormous pressure, the central defender for the Wanderers. His first reaction after very impressively clearing the ball was to let Andrew Redmayne know what for, straight away. We need more cover, Redders.
Redmayne has won his place back from Liam Reddy. Whistle's gone in favour of the Wanderers. Alberto still not re-signed to a new contract, and Neville's had his pocket picked. Little layoff by Carrusca, didn't quite fight its way through for Thurio.
Super scramble from Andrea.
Punch forward by Isaias. Chase on between Thurio and Neville. Rather lazily forward by Alberto. Look at that for control from Carrusca. The cutest of touches. And gets it back off Stefan Mork. The Adelaide crowd like that. What about the cross from Carrusca? Kamau! Bruce Kamau for Adelaide United! Arriving late, but they're ahead of the fullback. And Adelaide Oval erupts.
We spoke after a minute. Brucey Kamau with 3 touches, the most inexperienced player on the field to settle into grand final day before 60 seconds has elapsed. And this is the benefit of it. Superb lead-up play down the near touchline. Mork to Carrusca. The pass was beautiful in the end from Marcelo Carrusca, the magical Argentine. But look at that from Brucey K. He zips in front of Scott Jamieson. It's a peach with the inside of his left foot. Met it perfectly, the youngster. And away go the Reds.
Well, what a moment for the 21-year-old. The second quickest goal in grand final history. And the Reds fans feel they're on their way now. What a noise around this famous old venue. And for the youngster who was born in Kenya, came to Australia as a youngster, his talent was spotted, and now he's bagged a goal on the biggest stage of all. And off he goes again on a run. His speed gets him there ahead of Alberto, as he then bowled over by Jamieson. Jared Gillet's had a good view of it, said no. Wanderers forward, and now some space between the lines. Bridge on the ball. Nichols making his way towards the edge of the penalty box and was sliding in, trying to make contact at full tilt, and was only a whisker away.
Yeah, good attack, really encouraging building block, that one. Keep the ball at a playable distance from themselves.
That was the criticism of the surface here in the past, that it was just too quick. The grass too short. That's a good turn by Castellan. Gets away from Goodwin this time. And then the ball just squirmed away from him. Neville plays it off the shins of Goodwin. Another corner for the Wanderers.
Not a good outcome. It's a lack of conviction from the Wanderers again. It's been the case more often than not. Castellan got rid of Goodwin really easily. And a huge avenue into the penalty area which was available to him. Never really looked quite like he was going to do anything with it, the Dutchman.
Topol Stanley and Alberto have trudged forward and taken their positions. Dimas couldn't find them.
The set pieces so far, it's only half an hour gone, but they've been poor. They haven't beaten the first defender yet. Dimas with the latest repeat of that error. See if he can correct it this time.
Again, the central defenders make their move. Oh, and throwing himself at the ball was Santalab. He got the connection, but not the direction.
That's a brilliant chance. So the first time the Wanderers have cleared that first defender. It's a good one from Dimas. This is a brilliant chance from Santalab. Lost Moroni. LaRocca wasn't doing enough of a job when he's positioned in that place as a central defender. A golden chance for Brendan Santalab.
Gite might break here for Sergio Thurio. Topol Stanley across to provide cover. There's the crowd just about to rise to its feet in anticipation perhaps of a second Adelaide goal. Marcelo Karuska having such an influence.
When you look at that little bit of work there to pressure the ball, Simon. It's made this point through the season. It's not as though Marcelo Karuska hasn't always worked hard, but he's got that extra edge on him. And you want to know how Adelaide have turned their season around. It's those added percentages of effort.
Here they come again. It's Bruce Kamau. He's brought down, edge of the D by Alberto. Free kick, yellow card.
Great position. Wonderful position. Topol Stanley now on tenterhooks. An hour from the end of normal time. The captain, the centre half, is on a yellow card. Quite why Topol Stanley put his leg in there. Kamau had lost control of the ball, and in fact it's Kamau on that angle who'd made the contact. I don't think there's any complaint otherwise. Sometimes the camera angle can be a little bit mischievous, but this is a superbly placed free kick for Adelaide. Isaias has scored from about this range late in the season away to Melbourne City. Karuska needs no reintroduction. And the hammer in the left foot of Craig Goodwin is not to be ignored either.
Tenth yellow card of the campaign for Nikolai Topol Stanley. More importantly than that, this is a real opportunity for Adelaide. Just a metre outside the D. It's going to be Isaias. Oh! Isaias, the Spaniard! Si, senor! Si! 2 goals to the good Adelaide! And he's becoming the set-piece specialist! Wonderful strike!
But incredible scenes, incredible noise, an incredible goal. Any corner on this earth, that is golazo. Beautiful. Centimetre perfect from Isaias. Redmayne virtually rooted to his spot. An incredible lead now for Adelaide. And 2 weeks in a row, the Western Sydney Wanderers are going to have to dig very, very deep into the reservoir of character to get out of this one.
Well, quite simply, no goalkeeper in the world could have stopped that one. It could not have been any more perfect. What a strike.
His general contribution has been first class.
Karuska. Gite trying to roll away from Topol Stanley. He's in here, Gite! Squared it up, it's only partly cleared. Stephen Mork. And he was leaning backwards and got too much elevation on the shot. Here's Nichols. Might there be one more chance before the break? It might go the way of the Wanderers. This is Mark Bridge. Grand final specialist, of course, scoring 2 previous finals. And his cross was heavily deflected. Thurio in the right fullback position. Just won't break for the Wanderers at the moment. Thurio on the charge forward. Stopped in his tracks by Jamison, who turns back towards halfway, and Andreu. Castellin has Neville available. Reds fans want the half-time whistle. This scoreline suits them very nicely, thank you. Dimas, laid off by Nichols. Jamison, everybody behind the ball for the Reds. Nichols. Castellin. Shot deflected, fended off by LaRocca. Down goes Castellin, no foul. Anywhere will do for Jitte. Glance at the watch by Jared Gillett, and that'll do for a first half that has very much gone the way of Adelaide United. 22 years they've waited for a championship in this part of the world. They might only have another 45 minutes to wait. Goals from Kamau, and then a beautiful free kick by Isaias has given Guillermo Amor's team the advantage at the break in front of 50,000. They're halfway to a maiden A-League championship. What have the Wanderers got left at the interval? Adelaide United 2, Western Sydney Wanderers 0. What a noise to greet them once again. Brendan Santalab will no doubt be thinking back to that moment where he flung himself at a corner and made good contact but didn't get the direction he wanted. Bruce Jitte, who's worked hard, not scored today, which is not the norm for him in the last few months, but he has an absolute peach of a free kick to double the Reds' money. All that after Bruce Kamau had given them that early advantage, the second quickest goal in a grand final. And that's why they are perhaps preparing to party tonight. Been a long old wait in this state. No changes made by either coach at the break, but I'm sure they will come as the action unfolds over the next 45 minutes. But all on the Wanderers, who are staring down the barrel of a third grand final loss. So a blast on the whistle from Jared Gillett gets us back underway. Andy Harper again alongside for the second half. The onus, Andy, all on Western Sydney, as we say.
Yeah.
The job half done for Adelaide.
Well, and they can lock up a game really well, Adelaide. We've seen that best defence in the competition. And as I just made my way through a small sample of this huge crowd at half-time, the question from all the Wanderers, can we do it 2 weeks in a row?
Let's see if they can start the journey. They've got a throw-in off the instep of Jacopo LaRocca, their former player.
If they are to find a way back, I can only repeat, it's going to come through the inspiration of Mitch Nichols or Mark Bridge.
Romeo Castellin, of course, in such good form at the moment, but a little bit troubled by the pitch, it seems to me. That, along with very good defensive display so far by Craig Goodwin. This man's been good as well, Karuska. Lovely interchange between him and Mork, and then Jitte involved as well. Adelaide trying to turn on the style. Karuska hugging the left-hand side touchline. Going for the 1-2 with Mork a second time. Dug out by Stefan Mork. It's going to try and curl it. It's a routine gather this time for Redmayne. Strong play again by Jitte. Morone, deft footwork to get rid of Jamison. Clip into the box. Oh, it might have been 3 for Thurio. Didn't quite get the connection he was after. And the Wanderers hanging on by their fingernails for that fraction of a second there.
Well, I don't know if I'd be prepared to write the Wanderers off at 3-0, but we came very close to finding out what sort of medal they had.
Super control by Thurio and punch forward by Isaias. Goodwin, who's faced by Castellin, tries to wriggle his way clear, but Castellin's equal to it. The Dutchman went down, looking for the whistle, which never came, and Adelaide are back on the front foot. Goodwin A little bit more time this time, hangs it up. Kamau knocks it down. It's Chite on the turn, and it's deflected wide, another corner.
Real pressure being built by Adelaide. The Wanderers are creaking. Really creaking in the face of this red army of fans amassed at the Torrens River end of the ground.
The whole ground rising, it seems, to acclaim Guillermo Moore's team. Barely hear yourself think inside Adelaide Oval. Work back towards Isaias, who goes deep in the forlorn hope of trying to pick out Dylan McGowan. Well, there we go, 50,119, the official attendance today, the biggest crowd ever to watch a football game of this variety in this state. The South Australian public has really responded to this grand final on home turf. Of course, swelled by those brilliant numbers from Western Sydney as well. They've not had too much to cheer about so far, but still plenty of time. And here's Castleton as they try to start the journey. Laid off by Santalab. There's one back! And it is a smashing hit by Scott Neville. Great Scott! What a hammer blow off his right peg into the top corner. And now we've got a finale in the grand final. Could they do it again? Could they?
Well, they'll believe they can. It's a moment of quality, really, in exchange. The ball thread through from Ramon Castellan, the deftest of touches from Brendan Santalab, and a quite instinctive and exquisite finish from Scott Neville. And it's game on here at Adelaide Oval. They ain't dead yet, the Wanderers.
Well, what a time to score your first goal for the club. Well, almost at the midway point of the second half. Wanderers have shown their mettle in finals football once again. Vidicic. Look at the run here from Scott Jamieson. He's got away from Kamau. Two wait for the cross. And Bridge just not quite tall enough. It's still alive, though, for Castellan, who gets past one defender, hangs it up towards Vidicic, who couldn't get the power.
They're chipping away, the Wanderers. This is great accumulation of pressure. He flew Bridge, but the ball was just that fraction too high. Great raid by Jamieson, his best of the game so far.
That sort of confirms the pattern of the play that's been evident since the outset of the second half. Home fans trying to rouse their team. They look on the canvas a little bit at the moment, Adelaide. Just trying to ward off raid after raid of Wanderers' attacks. Chipped in by Andreu. Galekovic came a long way and got it.
Really good claim. Massive experience and quality in Eugene Galekovic, and he claimed that beautifully. And Adelaide, as they attack now to try and get some more breathing space.
It's great foraging by Chite. This is better from the Reds. Laid off by Kamau. Karuska. I think he was trying to chip the goalkeeper there, but Andreu just flung his body in the way. Back with Goodwin towards Chite at the near post. And the Wanderers survive. Somehow they'll get a corner, Adelaide. Good counter-punch thrown by Guillermo's team.
Beautiful couple of opportunities. The Wanderers defended Karuska brilliantly. Smothered the chance, and then Goodwin has hit a peach of a cross to the back stick. Scott Jamieson questions whether this is indeed a corner. And the replays I've seen don't confirm it either way. Redmayne has adjudged to have made that save. So give the credit to the keeper, Streptolowski, the extra official in the penalty area, making the call.
Well, the ebb and the flow of a grand final. Now it's the Adelaide roars you're hearing. What an occasion we've got here. And what drama we've had. Not finished yet. Mork's corner. Out towards Goodwin, who lashes it right-footed. And it might break for Thirio. There's a scramble. It's gone in.
Offside.
Or is it? Offside flags up. It won't count.
Brilliant save, Redmayne. Inexperienced at this level. And that's a crucial save in the first instance. Wow, what a game.
Wanderers, hang on to your hats, folks.
What a grand final we've got here in Adelaide.
Just over 20 minutes to go. So
Look at this.
Look at this.
Look at this from Redmayne as the ball fires through the traffic. Thirio adjudged to have been in the road of Redmayne as he went to make a second save. That's my read.
And still all on the line. This is Jamison. Almost ran out of real estate. Did well. Vidicic. Jamison. Vidicic inside the area. Blocked off by McGowan. They're dropping like flies. Morone's gone down with cramp. Ball's with Castellin. Wanderers probing again. Heavy first touch by Vidicic.
Well, they've got to be careful, Adelaide. They don't just keep dropping and conceding space in the penalty area. They've got a taste for it now, Western Sydney.
Well, that's wasteful, because Morone was out of the picture there for Adelaide United. Tariq Elridge, the boy from Western Sydney who played for Western Sydney, is about to enter the fray at the expense of the injured Michael Morone.
Now, what a season Morone's had. Unsung hero of this race to the Premier's plate. And now he's had to watch nervously to see if his team can hold out or extend their lead even in the championship game.
Was Kamau stretching, but I'm unable to reach that through ball towards Vidicic. Bacchus forward with purpose towards Castellin. Into the box for Bridge. Not quite again. It's Isaias stretching out a boot.
Just a superb touch. Bridge could have caused any amount of trouble if he receives that ball, even though he's running away from goal. Dimas is not letting that challenge and the aftermath on Craig Goodwin go.
Adelaide just pausing before making that change whilst they defend this corner. About to be delivered by Dimas. Towards Neville and Topple. Stanley, in fact, got there first. On target, but Eugene Galekovic showing a clean pair of hands. Now, Adelaide have changed their minds. It's not going to be Brucey Kamau, it's going to be Marcelo Carrusca to be withdrawn in favour of Sanchez.
And a good game from Carrusca. Some classy moments. It's a big call, this one. 5 to go. Plus stoppages.
And Shannon Cole on in place of Scott Jamison. He's had a tough afternoon. He did go into the referee's notebook.
I think that's a telling point. 2 of the yellow card recipients have had to make way from the Wanderers.
Pablo Sanchez has been such a lucky charm off the bench for the Reds this season. Now Dimas under pressure, robbed by Mork! And he's pulled his shot wide.
Oh.
What a moment that could have been for the youngster.
Well, they're edging closer. Adelaide fans on tenterhooks. It's been such a good second half. On the back of a good first half, I'm prepared to say. It's only now I've looked at the clock and realised there's only 4 to go. It's flown. Not if you're an Adelaide fan, not if you have a vested interest as a Wanderers fan. Outstanding championship decider here. And the best team across 27 rounds has their nose in front. Can they keep it there?
Noise levels lifted again. Reds fans trying to drive their team over the line. Their lead is slender, fragile it's been at times, second half. And it's eaten up more valuable seconds on the clock for Adelaide United. It'll be in no particular hurry to take this. And we're told there's going to be 3 minutes of stoppage time to be added on. Again, the cries of United around Adelaide Oval. 1994, when Adelaide City last brought a championship. Oh, a mistake by Bacchus. There could be an air. Pablo Sanchez! That's it! They've done it! The super sub, once again, off the bench, scores the clincher. Adelaide are going to be champions for the very first time in the A-League era.
Well, the fourth official has just held up the board. There's 3 minutes to go. And they've got 3 goals. Adelaide United, unfortunate error by Kieran Bacchus, but the best goal sneak in Adelaide fires at home. They're not going to lose it from here, Adelaide. They've been the best team all season, the most incredible comeback in professional sport. Winless after 8 rounds. Then they didn't lose, they lost 1 for 20 games that followed. Finished top of the pops, host the grand final, and put a 3rd nail in the Wanderers' coffin. It's Adelaide's from here. The Reds in the city of churches are going to be the champions of Australia.
Well, what do we say? Lucky charm. 9th goal of the season for Pablo Sanchez. 7 of those off the bench. He's just always the man in the right spot at the right time. And George Mells is even going to get a taste of the grand final atmosphere as well. And perhaps fitting, an A-League season that's had such a Spanish flavour is going to be settled by a Spaniard for a Spanish coach. It's cruel on the Wanderers. They fought so hard again in this second half. But it looks like they're going to be denied for the 3rd grand final in a row. And I don't think I've heard a noise like this at any grand final, Andy.
Just deafening. This is a football town. You think back to the grand days of the NSL, when, according to the late Johnny Warren, Adelaide was the nursery of Australian football. The bedrock of the national team came out of Adelaide. And we're seeing a revisit to these great days in this magnificent stadium by what is now this champion team.
Well, as I was saying in the build-up to that goal, 1994, Zoran Matic was the coach then. A team full of internationals. This is a team that can't get a player in the PFA Best 11. They might not be players that stand out on an individual basis, but they are a team of champions, and they're about to be a champion team. And few would begrudge them what's about to happen. And what a story for their Spanish coach. His first senior coaching gig. He went 8 games without a win at the start of the season. They couldn't buy a win, home or away. And here they are, seconds away from being crowned the champions. And you wait for the roar to go up when the whistle blows in what is surely just a matter of seconds' time. And on balance, you'd say they've deserved it today. There it is! Thanks to Amor, they are bridesmaids no more. Tears from Eugene Galekovic. He knows the pain that they've been through. And in front of 50,000 parochial South Australians, Adelaide United have finally reversed the curse and laid to rest those ghosts of grand finals past. Bottom in November, premiers in April, champions in May. Western Sydney Wanderers waits for a title goes on. They now match the Mariners in having lost 3 grand finals. But today it's all about the Reds, about an unprecedented journey of after that dismal start to the campaign. It's their time. It is their moment. Adelaide United, champions of Australia for the very first time.